This is from Patrick Dean via Twitter. With all the incredible online content out there, all the great videos and articles about everything from personal development and outdoor athletes to literary and social issues, how can we best ration our time? Thanks.
Patrick. It's a good question. I think the important thing to bear in mind is your ratio of consumption to creation. There's this illusion of productivity that occurs when we're consuming uplifting content. We think we're actually doing something because what we're receiving is uplifting and it's educational and it's informative and it makes us feel like we're capable of achieving our goals. But the illusion, of course, is that it convinces you that you've actually done something when you haven't. So I think it's really important. First of all, it's good. I think it's really important to be mindful of your information diet, the kind of content that you're choosing to consume on a daily basis.
Yeah, great question in that regard.
Yeah,
right?
And to the extent that we're in this, stay-at-home moment for a lot of us, we're spending much more time in front of our screens, and it's easy to just click and click and click and mindlessly just hit the next YouTube, video without thinking through, is this the best allocation of my time?
Oh, it hits it for you.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it'll just play
Yeah, it just hits it.
unless
You don't have to do anything.
interrupt the flow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can just relax in the Barca Lounger. Let it happen.
So you gotta first be mindful about that diet, your information diet, your entertainment diet, and make sure that you're calibrating it so that it's in your best interest. Then you have to check the valence of consumption versus creation. There's a lot of talk about screen time, but I think screen time is too broad a term because you can be using screen time to write a book or, like Matisse, edit a video or, write a poem. Like create music. There's plenty of creative, productive, positive ways to use screen time where you're actually in the creation process rather than the consumptive process. So the first thing is doing an inventory of how much of your screen time is consumptive versus creative and trying to calibrate that valence so that you're using your screen time for more creative output, and then being objectively honest with yourself about the extent to which you're consuming content and perhaps deluding yourself into thinking that that's actually moving you towards your goals, I guess, is the best way of answering that question.
I like that.
Do you digest or do you produce? And if you're not leveraging the content that you're consuming to produce or make changes or create forward motion in your own life, then it becomes a distraction. Gary Vee says this all the time. He's like, I hope that you stop listening to me and watching me one day, because if you're stuck on just watching those people who are motivating you, but you're not like if you just watch David Goggins videos all day long, but you never put the running shoes on and go outside or do a single push-up, then you're missing the whole point of what he's trying to explain to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed. I like that, the ratio of consumption versus creation. For me, I think of screen time. I don't even think about my computer. It's rare that like I'm on the computer unless I'm writing or working. I think of my phone, and when I'm on my phone, the screen time really is a consumptive experience. Right. It's not so much a creative experience, although I do take notes in my phone sometimes, so it can blur the line.
What about all those TikTok dance moves you got going on?
Bro, don't tell them about my TikTok name. Do not mention my TikTok handle. So, in terms of consumption, are there like 2 or 3 kind of go-to things that you're always hitting? Like, is there like a guilty pleasure, or is there something that you're always like? Is there a podcast that you kind of listen to on a regular basis beyond just something for you, not really even for work? I
mean, I would say podcasts are the thing that I consume the most on my phone. And I've been consuming a little bit less because I'm not in my car as much. But when I'm out training, it's definitely, that's my go-to form of edutainment. And I mix it up. I mean, I'd have to look at my phone to tell you what I'm listening to lately. But it tends to be, sometimes I'll use it. I listen to stuff that has nothing to do with anything that we talk about here. Like if I'm not listening to the shows that are similar to my own because that feels like homework.
Right.
And I need to, broaden my perspective in other areas. So I listen to like a lot of tech stuff. I like Kara Swisher and Scott Galloway on their Pivot podcast. I like Professor Galloway's new Prof G show. I've been listening to that. I like Reply All, which is stories about the internet.
Oh, cool.
That are fascinating, like long form, kind of journalistic deep dives into weird corners of the internet. I think that, those guys, PJ and Alex, who hosts that show, do an amazing job. You know, I like storytelling.
Yeah.
I'll listen to some Rogan podcasts, but not all of them. You know, I mix it up.
Gladwell?
So Gladwell for sure.
Yeah.
Who is, I'll say it right now, nobody does an ad read like Malcolm Gladwell.
He throws his whole
best.
body into it. That's a full body experience. I want to watch
There's a whole production
Yeah.
that goes into how he crafts these ad reads and the writing that
It's
you
funny.
get to, you get
it's
a
his,
glimpse.
it's
his
like
thing.
it's where he gets to be funny, I think,
Right.
more than anything. And
Right.
and he is funny. But yeah, I was listening to Revisionist History the last couple of days. It's the new season is out. Big fan.
It is. He's another guy I'm trying to get on the show. We've had emails back and forth and haven't been able to make scheduling happen. And that's one I really want to do in person. So I'm willing to wait a little bit longer.
I like it.